I don't know if you ever like did the hooking up in drag or all that stuff.
Girl, I have a song written after me.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
So, do you remember we used to have that show that night at Machine?
Yes.
Called
was it on Mondays or
Pumps?
Wednesday
pumps.
Yes.
For the girls.
The girls and their admirers.
For the girls and their admirers.
Yes. For the gentlemen that love to worship the girls and the dolls. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And every once in a while, someone would come, and there's this guy who came to Pumps, and I took him to the coat check and did some things. What time it was. I let him know what time it was, and then he let me know what time it was.
You read him the Riot Act,
honey,
and then he read you the Patriot Act,
and then a song was made.
And then you made Sister Act.
Well, he has a sister now. So.
Then you turned him
out
like a werewolf. That is unfortunately, since Drag Race, pretty much that element of getting into drag, that the allure of maybe something sexual or sensual or erotic is happening, has pretty much evaporated.
Yeah, it's hard to do, especially when you do this all the time for work. It's just like
there's also there's no, for me anyways, there's hardly ever an element of feeling pussy.
Oh,
you feel the opposite of pussy nowadays.
Yeah,
you feel like, I don't know what the opposite of pussy is. You feel like a beat up granny.
Maybe you do, but I feel like a gorgeous woman.
Sure,
but I don't feel like the puss sexual being in drag that I used to. Yeah. Especially drag is so big. My drag is so big now, and I'm like, people see me and they're like,
right.
It's not even like they're like, sir. It's just like,
it's larger than life.
It's larger than life. It's superhuman.
Yeah, it's not. Like, you can't even imagine like how you would even get to the bedroom with a man.
They come to the door and they're like, here, and then they see me and they go,
aha.
Like, oh, I'm too gorgeous for you.
Yeah,
that must be what it is.
Yeah. You're too overwhelmed by my beauty to have an erection.
Yeah,
because all the blood is going to your brain to kind of process
your brain and your heart and your soul, honey.
Yeah, but I miss it, and I miss those little excursions. Maybe it was
good, especially in Boston. Baby.
My God, those little excursions. Pump Wednesdays or Wednesdays and Thursdays at Jocks were always the night where typically, like there was less action on the show side of the bar and more on the mingle side of the bar by the pool table. Yeah. And it was always I would tiptoe down there and in a very accessible outfit. Yeah, no pads or anything like that.
Of course.
Like a circle skirt with a flare with no panties underneath.
Back in the day, where you can have a straight body and people are like, oh, I love that.
That's it's whatever. It doesn't matter. You certainly weren't getting photographed and you weren't on stage or anything like that.
And ultimately, they did not care. They don't care.
That was the ultimate gag. I'll never forget. It was so bittersweet when I learned that they just want like, it's like in the cartoons.
Put a wig on your.
Put a wig on a mop pole. They literally want like the pole and the mop. That's all they need.
They don't care.
They don't care. I had a paid gig for this guy, a hooker gig, and it was scheduled for 11 a.m. He was good and the money was good, but I overslept. And I woke up at 10:30 and I was like, F-. I texted him, I'm sorry, I'm going to be late. He's like, just put a wig on. And I was like, what? Excuse me, just put a wig on? And I was floored because I was like, I've been going through all this.
And I could have just put a wig on?
I could have just had a wig on. But at the same time, so I did put a wig on and I did not enjoy that.
Yeah, I mean, like.
I did not enjoy it. I had to get in the shower and shave super smooth. Because I'm not doing a wig and or like a beard.
Yeah.
And I know that he would not want that.
No, I mean, they want you to be smooth. They want they want the illusion. Yes. They think that the thing is, they think that they know what you're going to look like without the makeup. Mama. And then they see it and they go, oh.
Yeah. Or when they've made, I have certain requests being made, and like he said, "Do you have any black hair?" I was like, "Mama, you don't want me in black hair.
No, don't.
You don't want me in black hair. You don't want me in a brunette wig." It's like, I know what you think you want, but I cannot provide that fantasy for you because I will look ugly as hell,
honey.
And in the whole like, he wanted me to be like a brunette cheerleader. I was like, that's not me, Mary. Like, it's not going to happen. But yeah, it was. It's always humbling And then, you know, it's always really humbling when you talk to your girlfriends and realize that y'all fuck the same guy. And that the guy has gone to every drag
single
queen,
one of the girls.
Some of them looking like dogs.
And you're like, oh, you got. Oh,
so it's like, because you want to.
Because you thought you were that girl.
You thought you knew you were that girl.
You knew you were her, and you knew that you were she, and then you thought that at some point, girl, I'm taking the same girl that you know these everyday women are getting, and I am, you know, I'm a, on the occasion girl. And
nothing special about you, hoe. Yeah, nothing special. You could,
honey, they could have. You put a wig on a dog, and they would have just gone to town.
It's so humiliating, and it's so that's why that at a certain point.
That's why I stopped really caring about what they want.
Well, I stopped telling people.
I started caring about what I want.
Okay.
You know, I started going, okay, as long as I get off, I don't give what's going on in your brain.
Sure.
What do I care about that?
Yeah. Also, sometimes what's going on in their brain is so outrageous and outlandish, such as I was told a couple of times that, you know, if I was told a couple of times by this guy that if he saw me out on the street like this, he would never know that I wasn't a woman.
Okay, girl.
And I was like, we had just done it. So he had
already
bust.
He had already.
And he was saying this, and I was like, I crossed my legs. I turned on the light a little brighter. I said,
what do you think now, sir?
Like, would you care to repeat that sentence? And it's just so crazy. It's so crazy.
I mean, I've woken up with sometimes back in the day. Yeah, sometimes back in the day when I was in Boston, there was this really beautiful eyes and just bottom down. Yeah. And I you know, fell asleep in my house. And he fell asleep next to me, and I woke up, and he was going to town on me, and I was like, "Oh, hi, well, good morning."
Wig on?
I don't know. I don't remember if I even had a wig. I probably did, but you know,
I had one sleepover where I slept in drag.
I slept in drag all the time, and not just because of
you just fall asleep.
I just fell asleep.
Yeah.
I'm in drag.
Okay, that never happened because if I'm sleeping in drag. The next morning, it's Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah,
it's Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, and he did not care. He went to town.
They don't care. It's so well because I always forget. Like when I would hook up with these guys, the first 10 minutes, all this makeup is gone because my mouth is so suction cupped to their ass.
Oh baby,
but all the Russian red lipstick, all the Dermablend, all the contours
right
on
their
ass. It's like a stamp print, and then
take a picture.
Yeah, I mean,
put them around the
house. It's all gone. So and then they don't care, and I always wanted to get in their head because I do care deeply about what they look like.
Like
deeply.
Like if you come to my house and you don't look like what you said you were going to look like,
you're not coming in.
Go.
Yeah, and because of I'm sure you would agree that in Boston with the supply and demand. We were picking 10s.
Yeah.
10s. I'm talking
time.
if you line up these
11s.
Men. You line up these men that we have had sex with in drag in Boston, and if most gay men had to rate them 1 to 10, I'm telling you, a lot of these guys would be 10s.
They'd be like, "You had sex with that guy?" I was like
what? That's the most attractive man I've ever seen.
Yes, multiple times.
Multiple times.